This is the Tuttio Electric Dirt Bike. It looks exactly like how you'd picture a mini dirt bike. Not a bicycle with a battery slapped on, but a real compact electric motorcycle. You get this tough aluminum frame, big fat 20-inch tires that look built for anything, neon accents on a matte black body, and a big exposed battery sitting where you'd expect the gas tank. The seat height is just right for average height people, and I can basically flat-foot it at stops. The handles are wide and grippy, and the LCD display sits right up front, giving you speed, battery level, and which ride mode you're in. It has this urban moto vibe with a dash of off-road attitude. Definitely an eye-catcher, if you care about that. Key features start with the motor. They call it 2,000 watt nominal, but it peaks at 4,000 watt. And trust me, you'll feel it. I was honestly not sure at first if this was too much bike for me, especially since I hadn't ridden anything quite as punchy. The torque's rated at 170 Newton meters, which basically means this thing will just launch from a stop if you're not ready. More like a motorcycle than an e-bike throttle. On my first ride, I even surprised myself. I cranked the throttle too quick, leaving my driveway, and nearly popped a wheelie. Instant torque is fun, but it pays to respect it and lean into your habits slowly. The battery is a 60V 25Ah lithium unit, about 1,500 watt-hours, sealed and removable. For anyone wondering, that's about the same juice you'd see in some bigger scooters. In my experience, using just the throttle, no pedaling, I got about 34 miles on a single charge, though I was hitting it pretty hard and riding mostly at medium to high speeds. If you use pedal assist, where you actually help out by pedaling a bit, you can go closer to that 75 to 100 mile range they claim, as long as you stay in lower assist levels and don't push max speed. Most days I just charged overnight, using the slow 2A charger it comes with, and it took maybe 8 to 10 hours to fill up from nearly empty. I swapped in a faster 5A aftermarket charger once, and it cut my charging time almost in half to about 4 hours, which felt a lot more practical. It's perfect for anyone looking for something between a high-powered e-bike and a small dirt bike. I commute 10 miles round trip for work, mixing bike paths with a couple side roads, and this thing eats up regular pavement, but really wakes up when I hit dirt, gravel, or even loose sand. Those 20-inch by 4-inch fat tires are not just for looks. On soft ground or muddy spots, I never worry about slipping out. Suspension is handled by an inverted front fork and an adjustable air shock in the back. Honestly, that makes a massive difference on rough trails or just hopping a few city curbs. I ran both into sand and up some gravel hills, and the bike always felt stable and planted. Safety-wise, you're not left wanting more. There are 4-piston hydraulic disc brakes front and rear, giving a ton of stopping power. If you're not used to strong disc brakes, just be careful on your first few rides. They bite hard, and it takes some practice to figure out modulation so you don't lock up or lurch forward. The headlight is super bright and wide, lighting up the road maybe 30 meters ahead at night. The taillight pulls double duty, acting as a brake light too. I always feel visible, an underrated part of riding anywhere, but especially crucial when you're blasting around at 40 MPH. From my experience, the bike is really stable at speed. I've had it just north of 42 miles per hour on a longer open stretch with no problem. Riding off-road, you do get some vibration, but the suspension and fat tires absorb most of what would normally rattle you to bits. What threw me off at first was the low-speed handling. There's a lot of heft. This thing comes in at 88 pounds, and in tight turns, especially on narrow city paths, it can feel a little sluggish. Wide bars help with control, but you need to be aware if you're threading between cars or making slow, sharp turns. On the other hand, once you pick up speed, the stability is awesome, and the weight gives you confidence on sketchy terrain. One thing that stood out to me was the different ride modes. On this bike, you get pure electric, just use the throttle. Pedal assist, 5 levels to mix your own effort with motor power, and manual, which is honestly just you pedaling what is basically a heavy motorcycle. Pedal assist felt natural, especially at level 1 or 2. It takes the edge off hills and makes acceleration from stoplights super smooth, but you're still working a bit. I'm mostly stuck to throttle only. The motor controller is very responsive, sometimes almost too responsive. There's little feathering between just rolling and launching, at least with the stock controller. After a few rides, I swapped to a VESC, custom programmable controller, because the original throttle was twitchy, making it tough to cruise slowly on a path. With the Vesk, I could fine-tune throttle curves in the app. Now it's much smoother and easier to ride at whatever speed I want, and acceleration is more controlled. Maintenance has been a breeze. After 2 weeks of steady riding, commuting, off-roading, and a couple of night rides, I haven't done much besides wiping the chain and topping up tire pressure. The whole bike is built solidly enough that I don't expect trouble. But the good news is everything is pretty accessible if you want to tinker, upgrade, or swap parts. The frame is waterproofed enough for light rain or mud, though I wouldn't dunk it in deep water. Battery charging involves just popping it out and plugging it in, or you can leave it on the bike. I'd recommend keeping your original packaging, just in case you ever need warranty service or want to ship it. If you like that mini motorcycle look and want a bike that seriously performs, I'd recommend this for heavy riders, thrill seekers, or even commuters who need to cover a lot of ground without worrying about range. The 330-pound weight limit means just about anyone can hop on and ride. I'm not a bicycle purist by any means. I just want quick, practical transportation that's fun, fast, and can handle whatever I throw at it. This bike ticks all those boxes, and I haven't had any issues with overheating, weird noise, or power cutouts. You do have to get used to the weight. Lifting it onto a car rack or carrying it upstairs is a workout. And it's not the choice for small apartments. But if you have garage space and a place to charge, it's not a problem. The only things I'd caution new riders about are the throttle sensitivity and the brakes. That first ride showed me that torque is real and can surprise you if you're not paying attention. Give yourself a few rides to get the feel, and maybe start in a lower power mode or pedal assist until you're comfortable. The stock charger is slow, so if you ride a ton, it's worth grabbing a 5-amp fast charger online. They're cheap and make a big difference.